Hey, I want to talk about comfort zones, and there's a trap. So stick around and learn more.
This is the Franchise Pitfalls and Profit Show. Each week, we bring you the challenges and triumphs of being in the franchise development and consulting business. The things you need to make money faster. And now your host, one of the most successful franchise developers in North America, Don Shin.
Hey, I just wanted to talk about comfort zones a little bit, and I found that I think there could be a trap that's often set for us when we think about comfort zones, and that's what I wanted to talk about. So I started, and I'm part of I serve a lot, and I'm on the board of a rescue mission, and I think sometimes, and we deal a lot with drug addictions and alcohol addictions and so on, but I think our comfort zone can become an addiction, and actually maybe lead to other health challenges and other health problems, like depression, for example. Now, comfort is essential. I get it. What comfort and our comfort zones make us feel safe and secure and at ease. Cozying up to a fire with a new book, the predictability of a certain way that you travel on your way to work, or any kind of a morning or a daily routine. Even staying in the same job, that it's not really challenging us, but it's familiar. Um, as beneficial as comfort zones can be, I want to suggest that sometimes there's a trap in there. There's an ambush that's waiting for us when we're not mindful. We can feel stuck. We can feel uninspired, unchallenged, and ironically, that can even lead to tremendous amount of anxiety and isolation. And again, those things are the things that lead us to health problems and potentially depression. So we can enjoy our comfort zones. It's natural. Our brains are wired to seek pleasure, not pain, avoid painful things. And this is why we feel uncomfortable, or when we do, we instinctively seek safety and some kind of return to our routines and our stability. And that's healthy. Again, it's natural. It's built into us. It's healthy to a certain point. But in fact, I think this comfort can actually be a powerful tool that leads us to stress, in the grander scheme or in the bigger picture. What happens when comfort zones become your primary area, or your primary goal is simply constantly seeking that comfort level? Well, when it's our only goal, we actually might find ourselves slipping into bad habits that lead us down paths of isolation, demotivation, even physical health problems. So, things like eating too much, or smoking, or having those extra couple of drinks that we don't really realize where that's leading to our immediate comfort, or satisfying our immediate comfort, but we're not recognizing where that ultimately is leading us. And I think, ironically, this drive for comfort can make us uncomfortable in new settings and in alarming ways, when we can't deal with new situations, or unique situations, or new people. And sometimes it also leads to boredom. It leads to frustration, and as I said earlier, even sometimes depression. So let's talk about the word addiction. I sometimes hear it, and I think we usually think of that as substance abuses, as I mentioned, maybe behavioral problems that can lead, obviously, into bad things and bad ways. But comfort, I think, as I said, as I've thought about it and studied it a bit, I think comfort can also become addictive, but it's subtle. And when we consistently seek comfort above other things, that's the key. We're seeking it above anything else. What we end up doing is we train our minds to avoid challenges. We train our minds to avoid new situations. We train our minds to avoid new people. So we shy away from growth, and because we're thinking, hey, well, I'm safe and it's predictable and I'm okay there. We may actually even start making decisions based on how we feel from a comfort standpoint, rather than the things that invigorate us, and the things that will be fulfilling, and the things that long term, big picture, will be beneficial to us. Imagine someone who's in a job, for example, that they don't love, and that's not stable, and pardon me, that is stable, that's familiar. Again, that's comfortable. Maybe they want to switch careers. Maybe at one point in time, maybe they actually did indeed try something new. Maybe they started a new project, but the fear of the unknown, again, that is a human nature thing. It's natural, but that fear of the unknown was too strong, and they dropped back, and they went back into their comfort zones. And over time, that type of behavior, pulling back, retracting, that type of behavior tends to drive us to lose our motivations, lose our interests, paralyze us, give us that stuck feeling. Candidly, it is unfulfilling and unhealthy. This sense of dissatisfaction, it just stifles your potential. Maybe you look back and you say, I had all of these great career plans and ideas, but that fear, and this comfort zone focus just has continued to make that huge idea and dream and goal that we had. It just continues to shrink and get smaller, and we just quietly leads us to some forms of low grade, just low grade depression and chronic stress. Why does excessive comfort zone focus lead to depression? I think a big part of it has to do with the fact that we lose our ability to prioritize. We lose our ability to understand what's at stake, what's it actually going to cost us. Growth, whether it's emotional, physical, mental, career, professional, it's got to come through some form of discomfort. So when we're avoiding discomfort, we're really avoiding growth. We're avoiding all of the things that could help us expand and grow and become better. Comfort leads to this focus on comfort zone, leads to passivity. And again, so physically, if you're too passive and you're too much of the quote unquote couch potato, this is going to limit some of your physical abilities, as well as constrain your thoughts and your mind. If you're not challenging your mind, it's going to lead to emptiness, and it's just a vicious negative downward spiral. And again, back to those goals and those dreams that you had that were once so large and visible, you just really start to disconnect from all of those, and in a lot of cases you end up disconnecting from people who care about you, people who love you, and again, sometimes even internally you're disconnecting with yourself. So again, it affects our mental state, talking about that, but it affects our physical state. A lifestyle that's dominated by comfort and seeking comfort, it really discourages us to be engaged and active in any different way. And so it's going to lead to physical, or there is physical repercussions. It's going to lead to being overweight, maybe higher blood pressure. Some people, diabetes. Studies consistently show that physical and mental health are interconnected. And when we neglect one, both of them will typically suffer. So what do we do? What is what is ultimately the alternative here? I think that the key lies in your intentionality about discomfort versus comfort. We need to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. We need rest after hard work, whether that's physical or mental hard work. But comfort is going to negate your growth. It's going to negate your initiatives. It's going to negate your effort. But by regularly pushing yourself, even in small ways, you're going to build some resilience. You're going to build some confidence. You're actually going to enjoy things better. So maybe it's trying a new hobby. Maybe it's going to a networking event and meeting some new people. Maybe it's learning to play the piano or an instrument. Maybe there's another skill that you have always thought about. Make some steps. They're going to feel intimidating. Again, it is going to feel uncomfortable, but allowing ourselves to face it a bit, to face that discomfort, we begin to build some strengths and we begin to build habits of adaptability. And again, we begin to get comfortable being uncomfortable. When we embrace controlled, intentional challenges, we're not only stepping out of our comfort zones, but we're actually stepping into a different world. We're actually stepping into the world of fulfilled lives. We're actually stepping into our future, our goals, and our potentials. So what can we take away from this today? Comfort is a wonderful thing. It's natural to look for ease. It's natural to look for safety. I understand those things. And in general, in the right perspective, that's not a problem. But the challenge then becomes a balance of comfort and discomfort and growth, to find little ways, simple ways that just nudge you forward, nudge you just slightly outside of your comfort zones. It stops you from being complacent, and I encourage you to seek new experiences, new people. These are going to help you feel accomplished. Again, I talked about fulfillment. It's going to give you more purpose. Staying in your comfort zone is not going to feel purposeful. So it's this balance that's going to help us live a fuller life, a lengthier life, a healthier life, and a life that's more filled with joy, or filled with more joy. So remember, when the comfort feels good, that's okay. But that real happiness in life, real joy, real fulfillment is going to be when our comfort zones are growing. And the only way for our comfort zones to grow is if you start to step a little bit off, out of the zone, a little bit further away, and then you're going to actually begin to build your comfort zones. They're going to start to go out to where you're now working, or where you're now living, and what you're now doing. When we push ourselves even just a little, we open ourselves to this richer, happier, more joyful life. We're more connected with life, and there's more meaning in life.